Welcome to Daily Strength. Joe Stowell here, wanting to talk with you about grace and truth. Our text, John 1:14, where we read that Jesus was the fullness of grace and truth. Well, I guess it's a grandfather's prerogative to tease his grandkids a little bit, right? So when a few of my young grandkids were first learning math, I enjoyed quizzing them about their newfound knowledge. Do you know about math yet? I would ask them. Sure, Papa, I know math. Well then, what's 2 plus 2, I would ask. Beaming up at me, they quickly and proudly replied, it's 4. Oh, I would say, that's where you're wrong. 2 plus 2 is 22. You take one 2, put it next to the other 2, and what do you have? 22. And I continued like 1 plus 1 equals 11, 3 plus 3 equals 33, and then would say, don't you know that? Who's teaching you math? Invariably, their eyes would roll and I would hear, oh, Papa, you're wrong. 2 plus 2 is 4. And I'd say, are you sure? Yes, we are sure, was their confident reply. Thankfully, my grandkids are getting a good handle on the fact that truth can't be played with. Even though I'm older, an authority figure, and a loved one, they are ready to challenge me if I don't have the facts straight. The truth stands, and they can quickly spot and point out the error of my logic. As Christ followers, we need to get a little better handle on that reality. You don't play around with the truth. In fact, as John is telling us about Jesus in John 1, he assures us that we know that Jesus is full of grace and truth. Most of us don't have much trouble with the grace part. Of course, God's grace is amazing and unlimited, lavish, and actively demonstrated in the death of Jesus on the cross. He forgives sins, restores lives, and pours out countless blessings that are neither deserved nor expected. No arguments about his grace. But when we hit the truth part, the world walks out in protest. Truth, in so many minds, is a pliable commodity, so flexible that you can have your truth and I can have my truth, even if they are completely contradictory. Illogically, in the world's eyes, every claim can be equally valid, and in fact, we are quickly written off as intolerant if we point out the wrong-headedness and false thinking of a worldview that does not line up with God's Word. So John reminds us that Jesus came not only to demonstrate God's unlimited grace, but his absolute truth. Jesus claimed to be the way and the truth and the life. The only way, in fact, to the Father. He and the Father, he told the crowd gathered at the temple, were one. His truth claims can be rejected or received with eternal consequences, but they cannot be altered or spun to a more politically correct alternative. They do not sync with false worldviews and are not simply one option among many. So, the question for you and for me is, are we playing around with the truth? You need to know that you and I wouldn't be among the first to bend the words of Jesus to fit our dreams and misplaced desires. And, I should ask, are you able to spot false truth claims and erroneous thinking as quickly as my grandkids spotted my flawed mathematical theorems? And just as importantly, are we willing to speak out for the truth, graciously yet firmly exposing error for what it is? We can and should be agents of the grace of Christ. But let's remember the rest of the verse and be agents of his truth as well. It would be really great if 2 plus 2 could be 22 when I'm balancing my checkbook, but it still and always will be 4. The truth is the truth, and that never changes. Thank God that he has given us truth to keep the balance of the checkbook of our lives in good order.